Lustrum in ancient Rome was a deeply significant term that combined religious ritual, political structure, and social organization into a single concept. At its core, a lustrum referred to a purification ceremony performed after the completion of the Roman census, but it also came to denote the 5-year period between two censuses. This dual meaning reflects how closely religion and state administration were connected in Roman life. The ceremony itself, known as the lustratio, symbolized the cleansing and renewal of the Roman people, ensuring that the community remained in harmony with the gods. The responsibility for conducting this ritual belonged to the censors, magistrates of high authority who oversaw both moral conduct and the classification of citizens. The institution of the lustrum is traditionally associated with Servius Tullius, who is credited with establishing the Roman census system. According to Roman tradition, Servius reorganized society by dividing citizens into classes based on wealth and assigning them to military and voting units. Once this classification process was completed, a purification ritual was required to symbolically unify the population. This act was not merely religious, but also political, as it reaffirmed the structure of Roman society and the authority of the state. The census itself determined taxation, military obligations, and political participation, making the lustrum a moment of renewal for the entire civic order. The purification ceremony at the end of a lustrum was a solemn and highly symbolic event. It typically took place in the Campus Martius, a large open area in Rome associated with military activity and public gatherings. During the ritual, known specifically as the suovetaurilia, 3 animals, a pig, sus, a sheep, ovis, and a bull, taurus, were sacrificed to the god Mars. These sacrifices were carried around the assembled citizens in a ritual procession before being offered, symbolizing the cleansing of the Roman people from impurity and misfortune. This act reinforced the idea that Rome's strength depended not only on its armies and institutions, but also on divine favor. The lustrum also functioned as a crucial marker of time in Roman society. Because the census was ideally conducted every 5 years, the term came to represent this 5-year cycle itself. Romans often used lustrum in a chronological sense, referring to periods of time in historical writing and official records. However, in practice, the interval was not always strictly maintained due to political instability, wars, or administrative delays. Despite this, the concept remained deeply embedded in Roman consciousness as a rhythm of renewal and order. Over time, especially during the late Republic and into the imperial period, the strict regularity of the lustrum began to decline. Political turmoil, such as the civil wars of figures like Julius Caesar, disrupted in traditional institutions, including the census. Although emperors continued to recognize and sometimes revive these practices, the original republican significance of the lustrum gradually faded. Still, the symbolic importance of purification and renewal endured, influencing later Roman religious practices, and even leaving traces in the language, where lustrum continued to mean a 5-year period. In a broader sense, the lustrum illustrates how the Romans understood the relationship between society, religion, and governance. It was not simply a ritual or a unit of time, but a powerful expression of collective identity. By combining administrative order with sacred ceremony, Rome ensured that its political structure was constantly reinforced by religious meaning. This integration of the practical and the spiritual was one of the defining features of Roman civilization, helping to sustain its stability and cohesion over centuries.